Hello, Namaskar, Vanakkam. Welcome to CBSE with Sudhir. My name is Sudhir. Today we are going to look at the last chapter of your Poorvi Class 7 English textbook. And this particular story is a lovely story about Rani Abbaka, a story of courage, a story of willpower, a story of bravery, right? So who exactly was Rani Abbaka? Now, Rani Abbaka is remembered as the first woman freedom fighter of India, and that makes her extremely significant. First woman freedom fighter of India. And she was a symbol, as I said, of courage, of patriotism, and resistance to a foreign power. However, this is not the British we are talking about. Here we are talking about the Portuguese, right? So there is a difference. It's not the British, but the Portuguese. And every year, since this is based in the modern state of Karnataka, every year Karnataka actually celebrates Rani Abbaka's bravery through different cultural programs, through different events which are held. Now, Rani Abbaka was the queen of Ullal. Now, Ullal is a place on the Karnataka coast. If this is Karnataka, right, roughly, Ullal is somewhere here. It is on the Karnataka coast near Mangalore. Okay. Now, she was a queen in the 16th century and she belonged to the Chauta dynasty. And she's remembered as one of the first Indian rulers to fight against the Portuguese colonial rule. Okay, please remember that Portuguese were the first Europeans to land in India. Vasco da Gama, 1498, he landed in Calicut, whose modern day name is Kozhikode, right? And thereafter, the Portuguese kind of spread their influence in the coastal part of India. So let's start. This is written more like the Amarchitra Katha. Hiraya Abbaka, the queen of Ullal, a small principality. Principality means a small province, a small kingdom on the west coast of Karnataka, was on her deathbed. She was dying. This is the queen mother, right? Ullal had been captured by the Portuguese and had become a vassal. Vassal, we have read the meaning in the history lessons. Vassal essentially means someone who is, a tributary, someone who is paying tax to the king who has controlled them or defeated them in a war. They were required to pay a tribute. That's why the name tributary to the colonial power. Her daughter and successor Abbaka Devi was by her side. So this is Abbaka Devi and this is Hiraya Abbaka, right? So she is almost about to pass away and she is talking to her daughter. Alas, Abbaka, I lie here helpless while the Portuguese, and she's not even able to complete her sentence. Hush, mother, saying that keep quiet, mother. You must not tire yourself with such thoughts, that you should not keep worrying and tire yourself out. I am here, I take responsibility and I will not rest till I have driven them out of the west coast. That I'm going to defeat the Portuguese and I'm going to defeat them and throw them and drive them away from the west coast of Karnataka. The next day, Abbaka Devi was crowned the queen of Ullal, right? So the next day, she was made the queen of Ullal. And she tells all her people that I need your wholehearted cooperation, that I need your full cooperation to make Ullal stronger, secure, and free. So she wants to focus on the kingdom of Ullal, that she wants to make it free of the Portuguese rule. So everyone says, victory to Rani Abbaka, we are with you, your majesty. Now, after the coronation, which means after she became the queen of Ullal, Abbaka spoke to her husband, Veera Narasimha. Please remember the name, that her husband's name was Veera Narasimha, who was the king of another kingdom called Bangadi. Okay, of Bangadi, about her future plans. What are her future plans? That she wants to teach the Portuguese a lesson and drive them away from the west coast of India. She says, I will stop paying tribute to the Portuguese, that I will no longer be their vassal. I will stop paying the tribute, the tax or the money. I will not sell them spices or cloth either, because the Portuguese generally came to India after Vasco da Gama in order to buy spices, buy cloth, etc. And then they will go and sell them in Europe. So the king says, isn't that a rather rash decision? Rash decision means a decision that may have adverse consequences. It may lead to the Portuguese will get angry and they may take revenge. Also, please remember that Portuguese wanted to control Ullal because it was an important seaport for the spice trade, right? Because Kerala, part of Karnataka, are known for the growth of spices, growing spices. So it was an important seaport for spice trade. And Abbaka Devi decided that she will not pay them the tribute and thereby kind of tell them that I am resisting your attempts to control and dominate her kingdom. Me and a dangerous one. It's a rash decision, and he thinks it's also a dangerous decision. And look at the husband. He's thinking only about himself, because the Portuguese might think that I am in league with the queen. Means, I am also party to this decision. I am also in agreement with this decision of Abbaka and Bangadi. As a result, my kingdom, Bangadi, will have to face their anger, that the Portuguese may take revenge against me also. I must make her change her mind. So he's, in that sense, not entirely on the side of his queen, his wife, and he's thinking only about himself and his kingdom. So he says that I must change her mind. You may be afraid. So, but Abbaka refuses to be cowed down. She says, you may be afraid of the Portuguese, my king, but I refuse to be cowed down by them. Means I will not be scared by them, right? I will not be dominated by them. You may be scared, but I am not scared of them, right? Then Abbaka walks away, and the king says, stop her, seize her, means you arrest her. Abbaka, but such was the spell cast by the brave queen, not a soldier stirred. Stirred means not a single soldier moved from their spot and respond to the king's orders. They decided to follow their brave leader. Who was their brave leader? Abbaka, the queen. Now, the queen tells her ministers, she says, if we unite and fight, we could drive the Portuguese out of our land. So she's basically trying to garner support from other people, right? That if we are all together united, we can drive the Portuguese from our land. So she's probably talking to other small kingdoms also in that area. Impossible. We are no match for them. So the other kings say, no, we are no match for them. I would advise you not to provoke them. So they are also talking the same language of the king of Bangadi, the husband of Queen Abbaka, that, we will advise you not to provoke the Portuguese because they are very powerful. Their reactions only serve to strengthen Abbaka's resolve. Abbaka's resolve means that the more they said, don't fight them, Abbaka said, no, I am definitely going to fight them. I will have to fight the Portuguese alone. For fight them, I will single-handed if need be. That I will fight them single-handedly because I am not getting any support from the other kings. So I am going to fight them on my own. The next day, a Portuguese envoy presented himself to the queen. So an envoy came to meet the queen. Our governor has sent me to remind you that the annual tribute from Ulal is long overdue. And so he's trying to tell them that you have not paid. Last date is over. You have still not paid the tribute to the Portuguese. So our governor has asked me to remind you. So Abbaka says, we are a sovereign country. Sovereign country, I have taught you in civics. A sovereign country is a country which is not under any kind of foreign rule. It takes all its decisions independently, right? So we don't pay tribute to Portugal and we don't take orders from the Portuguese. So look at her body language. She's ordering him, saying that we don't take orders from the Portuguese. Abbaka ordered merchant ships to be built, and in alliance with the Zamorin of Kozhikode, she defied the Portuguese and established a hugely profitable trading relation with Arabia. Now, what has happened? Now, this is an important thing. Zamorin was like the king of Calicut or Kozhikode, right? So what she did was she kind of joined hands with him. Also, she joined hands with the Sultan of Bijapur, which is not mentioned here, right? And together what they did was they said, we will defy the Portuguese, means we will not obey the orders of the Portuguese. And she established a trading link with Arabia, that is the Gulf countries, right? She established it, instead of selling it to Portugal, we will do trade with Arabia, and that way we will be profitable. So then they are coming and said, visit us again, brother, God willing, we will. So they start doing trade with the Arabian countries. Your Majesty, you will regret your stand, is what the Portuguese envoy has told Queen Abbaka, right? Mother, this is just the beginning. I promise, promise you that the end will soon follow. That, we have just made a beginning. We will soon reach the end of this also. We will teach the Portuguese a lesson. All the ships were apprehended on their return by the Portuguese Navy. But all the ships which came back from Arabia, they were caught, confiscated by the Portuguese Navy when they came back. They fought bravely and all the ships returned except Abbaka's commanders, right? This deeply angered the queen. So they managed to fight and every other ship came except one. That was the ship of the commander of Queen Abbaka. So the envoy says, Your Majesty, our commander kept them busy while we escaped. His ship must have been captured by the enemy. I will make them pay for this. Means I will teach the Portuguese a lesson. So Abbaka sends a messenger to Mangalore, which is the base for the Portuguese. Okay, Mangalore is a major seaport. Mangalore is now called Mangalore. The Portuguese replied, however, by attacking, Abbaka stood watching as cannons boomed from across the river. So there was a battle which was fought between the Portuguese and Abbaka. So the Portuguese have replied in terms of a war, in terms of battle, Mother bless me, the time to avenge your defeat has come. So she wants to fulfill her promise which she has made to her mother, right? Abbaka in turn unleashed her forces and they attacked the Portuguese fort, right? Which must be in Mangalore. So they attacked the Portuguese fort. Ribeiro, the Portuguese commander, escaped with his life. And the attack from Queen Abbaka was so strong from her army that the Portuguese commander, Ribeiro, escaped. I will get help from Goa and we will yet have the last laugh. So he thinks that I'll go because Goa was also under Portuguese rule. In fact, Goa became independent much after 1947. So she says that Ribeiro says that I will go and get help from Goa, which was to the north of Mangalore. Like if this is Mangalore, Goa is somewhere here. And these people have said victory to Abbaka. When Ribeiro brought the news of the fall of Fort Mangalore, the Portuguese governor of Goa reacted sharply. That when he came to know that Mangalore had been captured by Queen Abbaka, the Portuguese governor of Goa was not happy. What? A mere woman defeating the mighty Portuguese? That you got defeated by a queen, right? You have made us a laughing stock of the local rulers, right? That, people will be laughing at us that you got defeated by a woman's army. The dauntless means unscared, someone who is not scared. Abbaka addressed her men. My brave soldiers, this shall be the decisive war. Let us fight in all our might and defeat the Portuguese once and for all. That this is the final battle. Let's defeat them. Victory to Rani Abbaka, right? So the Portuguese, with help from Goa, they come and attack Ullal. And that's what the queen says. For 4 days, the battle raged, but the forces of Ullal were enough. The Portuguese beat a hasty retreat in defeat, never to trouble Ullal again. So Ullal managed to defeat the Portuguese. You can see all the ships that have been burned. Mother, your dream has come true. Ullal is now free of Portuguese rule. Later, Abbaka helped Venkatappa Nayak, the king of Keladi, to take the fort of Mangalore. That they managed to take Mangalore also. The Portuguese were completely driven out of Mangalore by Shivappa Nayak, the greatest of the kings who ruled Keladi, right? So that's what happened as far as the story of Queen Abbaka is concerned. An inspiring story, a story which is obviously has motivated a number of freedom fighters in this southern part of India, right? So this is what is the thing. It was in the top form of an illustration strip, which made it easy. But I hope you have got the story, because the questions that will be asked will be the recall questions as to what happened in this story. Why did Queen Abbaka want to drive away the Portuguese? The role of the husband, the king. So all those kind of things you will be asked. But essentially an easy story, and I don't think you will really have an issue with answering questions from this particular chapter. With this, we have come to the end of Poorvi textbook. I hope you have understood all the chapters. We have covered all the chapters, explained them in both English and Hindi separately. So double mehnat I've done. That means 30 videos instead of 15 videos. Okay, so do appreciate that. Share the videos, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you with some test papers as well. Where they will be put, I will inform you very shortly. Tata, bye-bye, namaskar.